Hi everyone, welcome to the new course Vector Calculus and Differential Equations. In this course there are two sections, one is Vector Calculus and the second is Differential Equations. Total number of units in this course are 6. The first 2 units covers Vector Calculus and the last 4 units covers Differential Equation part. So in Vector Calculus there are 2 units, first is unit number 1 Vector Differentiation and unit number 2 Vector Integrations. Means we are going to deal with vectors in the beginning 2 units. So this is the lecture 1 of vector differentiation. In this lecture we are going to discuss about the what basics we require to study vector calculus, to study vector differentiation as well as vector integrations. So that basics I am going to discuss in this particular lecture. Okay. So very first one must know the difference between scalar quantity and vector quantity. A scalar quantity is a quantity which has only magnitude, that we know, and some examples of scalar quantity are mass, length, and the temperature you can add, etc. These are some examples of scalar quantity. They are having only magnitude, not direction. Okay. And vector, definition of vector is a quantity which has both magnitude and direction. Some examples of vector quantity: force, displacement, velocity, acceleration, current, etc. These are some examples of vector quantity. All of them are having magnitude as well as direction. Okay, so these are definitions of scalar and means this is what the difference between scalar and vector that you must understand. The quantity which is having only magnitude called as scalar quantity, and the quantity which has both magnitude and direction is called as vector quantity. So one must understand the difference between these two, then only we can understand the further topics. And it is very important to make difference between scalar and vector quantity while dealing with the coming topics. Okay. The next after this, the geometrically how one can represent a vector in any dimension. Suppose for vector 2 points are required. Let us take 2 points A and B. When we join these two, we get a segment. Okay, this segment has some magnitude, means it has some length, distance we can say, and that distance or length is nothing but the magnitude of that particular segment. And when we give direction, means when we assign some direction from A to B or B to A, it becomes a vector. So when we give this direction from the arrow, it means the vector is directed from point A towards the point B, and this can be written mathematically as A to B and bar over its head. So this is, and we can read it as vector AB. Okay, and if we change the direction of this arrow, then it will become a vector BA instead of vector AB. Okay, so what is the difference between two? The initial point of the first vector is A and terminal point is B. For the second vector, the initial point is B and the terminal point is A. So this is how we can represent a vector in any dimension. Okay. Now after this, I am going to discuss the notations which we are going to use in the coming topics. Generally, we are not going to use this type of notations for vectors here in this topic. We are going to use shorthand notations for the vectors. So, for example, if this is our 2-dimensional space, this point is origin, and this is any point in space, let us say A, and when we join these two, O and A, and if we consider O as initial point, we will get a vector OA bar. So this type of vectors in 2-dimensional space or 3-dimensional space, we are going to denote by using small alphabets. We are going to do in this way. So the meaning of A bar is, it is a vector related to point A and whose initial point is origin. Initial point is fixed for all the vectors. Okay, it is origin. Okay, So we can write that OA bar in terms of this notation, small notation A bar. So this type of notations we are going to use for vectors, small alphabets. And one more thing we know that vector has both magnitude and direction. So how one can calculate the magnitude of what notations we have for magnitude and direction that I am going to write. Suppose A bar is my vector, okay, and suppose it is a three-dimensional vector, so it can be written as A1i, A2j, A3k, where A1, A2, A3 are ijk components of the vector A bar, okay, or you can say A1 is the distance along x-axis, A2 is the distance along y-axis, and A3 is the distance along z-axis of the point A. Okay. Now magnitude of A bar is denoted by this notation, modulus of A bar. It is equal to what? A. We are going to use this type of notation for magnitude. We remove the bar from A to write the magnitude. Magnitude of A bar. The formula is square root of A1 square, A2 square plus A3 square. This is nothing but the distance of the point A from origin. So that is nothing but the magnitude of that particular vector. Okay, and this we calculate using distance formula. Okay, after that direction. Direction of any vector A bar we denote by cap over that vector. Okay, so this notation is called as cap. We can read it as cap, A cap. So the direction of any vector A bar is denoted by A cap, and it is given by A bar divided by magnitude of A bar. So this is how one can calculate mathematically the direction of the vector A bar. It is equal to that vector divided by its magnitude. Okay. So using this relation we can write any vector A bar. We can write any vector A bar as product of its magnitude and its direction. This is the multiplication of magnitude and direction. If you multiply direction of vector by magnitude, you will get that vector. Okay, just cross multiplication. We have taken this from the denominator in the left hand side. So we can write that A bar equal to magnitude of A bar into A cap. So this we can do for any vector A bar. Any vector A bar can be written as the product of its magnitude and direction. So this relation we can derive from the definition of magnitude and direction. Now consider these three vectors. I have taken three random vectors A bar, B bar and C bar. A1i cap plus A2j cap plus A3k cap, B1i cap plus B2j cap plus B3k cap, C bar equal to C1i cap, C2j cap plus C3k cap. Okay, so I have taken three vectors, and using these three vectors I am going to write few definitions, few formulas which we need in further topics. So very first formula is angle between two vectors. So how one can calculate angle between two vectors? Suppose we consider A bar and B bar as two vectors. The angle between two vectors, theta, if theta is the angle between two vectors, because I have taken this type of vectors. Suppose this is A bar, this is B bar, and this is the angle between two, theta. Okay, then the formula to calculate the angle is cos theta equal to A bar dot B bar divided by magnitude of A bar into magnitude of B bar. A bar dot B bar is a dot product, magnitude of A bar into magnitude of B bar. This is dot product, this is normal product, okay, normal multiplication. So this can give us the angle for calculating theta. Just take cos on this side, you will get the angle between two vectors, theta equals to. If you want to derive this for theta, we can write this as cos inverse of A bar dot B bar divided by magnitude of A bar into magnitude of B bar. Okay, this gives us the angle between two vectors A bar and B bar. Now the numerator of this formula is A bar dot B bar, that is dot product. So how we calculate dot product? Let us see the definition of dot product. For any two vectors A bar, these two vectors A bar and B bar, the dot product of A bar and B bar, A bar dot B bar, can be calculated as A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3. So this is the formula to calculate the dot product. So how this formula is A1 B1 is the multiplication of I component of A with I component of B plus multiplication of J component of A with J component of B, A2 B2, plus multiplication of K component of A with K component of B. And one can clearly see that this is a scalar quantity. It don't have I, J, K involved. It means it is a scalar. The resulting quantity is a scalar quantity. So it is also called as a scalar product. This gives us a scalar quantity. Therefore, it is also called as a scalar product of two vectors. Okay. Now let us see the next definition: cross product or vector product. So out of three vectors, I am considering two vectors A bar and B bar. The cross product of A bar and B bar is denoted by A cross B bar, and it is also called as vector product because it gives us final answer of this product is vector. It is equal to determinant. First row is ijk, second row. Whatever first vector you are having at this position, its ijk components we write in the first row. So the ijk component of the first vector is a1, a2, a3. So that can be listed as a1, a2, a3. Below I, we write the I component. Below J, we write the J component. Below K, we write the K component. The same thing we have to repeat for the second vector B bar. So it will be B1, B2, B3. And once we calculate this determinant, whatever value of this determinant we will get, that will be our required cross product, okay, of A bar and B bar. Now, if we calculate B bar cross A bar instead of A bar cross B bar, what will happen? This two row will get changed, okay? And we know the property of determinant. If we change any two rows mutually, the value of the resulting determinant gets changed by sign. This is the property of determinant. It means the value of B bar cross A bar will be equal to minus times A bar cross B bar. We can derive this using properties of determinants, and it tells us that A bar cross B bar is not same as B bar cross A bar. For cross product this equality doesn't hold. It means the cross product is not commutative product, okay? But while for dot product it holds. This result holds. Means dot product is commutative. It doesn't matter in which order you are calculating the product, A bar dot B bar or B bar dot A bar, you will get the same value, that is a scalar quantity. But here the value changes by sign, therefore they are not commutative. This product is non-commutative. Okay? So this is one of the property of cross product and dot product, commutativity. The next definitions are the definition of scalar triple product and box product. Scalar triple product, which is also called as box product, and another one vector triple product. This gives us the vector quantity, this gives us the scalar quantity, and triple means three vectors we are having in this particular product. In previous two products we have only two vectors in dot product and vector cross product. Here we have three vectors, product of three vectors. So this is how we can write the scalar triple product. A bar dot in bracket the remaining two vectors B bar cross C bar. This one product is dot, one is cross. In vector triple product, both cross we have, cross. And the arrangement, these brackets are very important, where we are using brackets to make the, to understand the, one should not write all the three vectors product without brackets. At least two vectors always have a bracket, square bracket, round bracket. And the value of the product can be calculated using determinant for box product, and here using this rule, A bar dot C bar into B bar minus, in between we have minus sign, A bar dot B bar into C bar. Okay, so these are the two definitions. Both product. First property is if we interchange the position of dot and cross, the value of the product remains unchanged. Hence, it doesn't matter if I take cross here and dot here, the value of the product remains unchanged. These two are same. Then why it is called as box product? We can use the box notation also for this product. Inside box you simply write what? ABC. So this is our other notation for the box product. The cyclic interchange of the vector doesn't change the value of the product. This is one of the property of box product. So there are many properties. We'll discuss it in later on. So this is in this video. I basically want to write the definitions of all the products and what type of things you must know for studying further topics that I have covered. Few definitions we require. So starting from the definition of vector. After that we have discussed angle between two vectors. Then definition dot product, cross product, their properties. Definition of three vectors, vector triple product, scalar triple product, and their properties. These things we require for studying the coming topic. So this is it from lecture number 1. Hope you have understood all the definitions. If you have any kind of doubt, you can write in comment box. And the next video, we are going to start the actual content of the course. Thank you so much.